recently I was looking on the Billboard top 10 and I realized there's no alternative rock music on it anymore. As you may or may not be able to see, I'm a millennial. And what that means is that I was there for the last stand of alternative rock music. And I benefited greatly from that music, all that angsty, get your feelings out kind of music. And I was able to get out a lot of anxiety and depression through my time listening to all of it. And it got me thinking a few questions. Why isn't alternative music making it to the top of the charts like it had for decades? Why in the heck has this meaningless lyrics and repetitive music taken its place? And maybe the most important question of all, is Gen Z missing out on a really important mental health resource that my generation and generations before me had? And if so, what can we do to help? Welcome to Music, Mood, and Mindset, the place where we talk about basically anything music related as a jumping off point to talk about mental health topics and learn how we can use music as a resource for our own mental health. I did some Google searching and surveying of some music lovers around me, and I came up with a hypothesis, nay, a theory on why alternative rock music has declined. And the reason is the same thing that has been the main theme of the last 10 years, which is social media. Stay with me, I can explain. With the rise of all these visual platforms like Instagram and Snapchat and all the other ones, we have a lot of emphasis on aspirational lifestyles or looking wealthy and looking good. A lot of these platforms have promoted that, and it's a lot more in our faces. So a lot of fans have started to prioritize an artist that represents this lifestyle that they want over the content of the music. I'll give us a few examples. Exhibit A, booty, 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 stop, stare. This is of the adage of sex sells. The logic is, if you make money, the girls will surely follow. Now, Exhibit B, probably my personal favorite of meaningless lyrics, is Gucci gang, Gucci gang, Gucci gang. Gucci gang, Gucci gang, Gucci gang. We may not all be able to agree on what is good and what is not good music. But come on, everybody. We can all agree that Gucci gang, Gucci gang, Gucci gang are lyrics that don't mean anything. And the reason why it shot up to the top of the Billboard charts is because it represented a lifestyle that a lot of people want. And look, I know there is exceptions to this rule of only being trash music. Artists like Billie Eilish having a meteoric rise right now is further evidence of this intense starvation of meaningful music like alternative rock music. Her lyrics that her and her brother wrote and the music they create is filling a need. And the reason why we weren't seeing quite a sharp rise in this meaningless lyrics and these repetitive words back when I was growing up or even in previous generations is that social media didn't exist yet. And yes, I know the music industry caring about making money and the image of their musicians isn't exactly a new thing. We saw symptoms of this in my generation too, with the pop stars and the boy bands and things of that nature. But the difference now is that the image is being spread at light speed. Back when I was younger, what alternative rock bands needed to do was create deep and meaningful lyrics and songs in order to build a relationship with their fans so that those fans would go to their concerts and spend money. And that's how they became successful. But due to social media, it isn't working as well as it used to. So if alternative rock is declining, what is the impact for Gen Z? Is it harming their mental health? And I'd say just from my own experiences and the experiences of a bunch of people I've met, yes. Growing up in what is arguably the last stand for alternative music, I was there when My Chemical Romance was putting out some of their best albums. Green Day was putting out some of their best albums. And most importantly, I was most definitely there when Evanescence was putting out their album Fallen, which, by the way, if you have not checked that out, you are missing out on life. And what that meant to me at that age, 13 to 15 years old, was a genre of music that expressed all the feelings of anxiety and depression and sadness that I was feeling and made me feel like I was not alone and that I was valid in those feelings. And that was an incredible resource for me at that age. You are so influenced by the music that you listen to when you're younger. The thing about how current music generally works is that when you're younger, you tend to gravitate towards more current music. And once you get out of the school systems, you tend to just hold on to the music you liked when you were younger. But here's the thing. It's no wonder that kids right now are feeling more anxious and depressed than any of us ever in history have felt, because their resources for dealing with all those mental health issues are getting less and less. Something that no one talks about is that not everybody is great at expressing how they feel through words. The truth is, music is critically important to our mental health and our emotional development, because when we don't have that, specifically the meaningful and emotionally expressive music, what ends up happening is we limit the resources we have available to us in expressing our emotions to ourselves, feeling less alone, and even communicating that with other people if we choose to share these songs. It's so important, and the fact that that kind of music is declining is such a loss for everybody. So what can we do in the face of meaningless music going up and meaningful music going down, like alternative rock? What we can do is 3 things, and these 3 things I have learned in my time working as a board certified music therapist, working with all kinds of clients in mental health. I've seen all 3 of these tips really make a good impact on the people that have tried them. My first tip for you is to be proactive and looking for more meaningful music. Borrow from other generations if you feel like there's nothing good that's current right now in your own opinion. Looking for music that has more deep lyrics and more expressive music overall is going to give you an outlet and be vital to your emotional and mental health. Second tip is you have a say in this. You vote with your eyeballs, your streams, and most importantly, your dollar when it comes to what the music industry puts out there. The more we lift up people like Billie Eilish and like a lot of bands that quite frankly aren't getting their due but are making great emotionally expressive music, then we're able to change the tide in what's going on right now. And finally, make sure to limit the amount of meaningless music that you listen to. Music, and that's all pretty subjective, but as a rule of thumb, if the song doesn't mean anything to you and it's just kind of this fun, weird fluff thing that you're listening to, try to limit that and up the meaningful music that you're listening to. I hope that all this helps, and I really appreciate you coming and watching this video. Make sure to give this video a like, comment on what you liked about it or your opinions on the decline of alternative rock, and be sure to subscribe to this channel and hit the notification bell. Thank you all so much, and I'll see you in the next one.